Mr. Nobody 85. What's going on, dude? How art thou today? NXT MPX art hint. NXT in Park stint. I don't know what that means, but thank you. I thought I would. I don't know. I have some free time right now, I guess, to ramble about things. We can talk about Marvel Tokon, Toxicity, 2XKO, whatever. Oh, not important. Oh, okay. There you go. Not important. We'll say that, I guess. At work, winding time down. I should say thanks, Mr. Nobody. I believe I've seen you actually try to defend me in public before, which I can't say for everybody. So I will say thank you for that. Because I know a lot of people say they support me and then they actually will not do it in public. And I believe I've actually seen you try to defend me in public before. So I appreciate that, dude. Death Blur 720, what's up? How art thou today on this Monday afternoon? I posted your vids. I had dialogue with some people and left the Discord shortly after. Yeah, dudes will. Yeah, I think I saw you post. You posted on that Rezone guys Discord. I think, right? Those guys love to talk shit about me, and I couldn't tell you what they've done. I know a lot of them play Alpha 2 and they ran from me. I was like, okay, let's talk about Alpha 2. And they sent their smartest person that supposedly could debate me about Alpha 2. And the guy just started talking about how all the stuff I've done in video games is fake. So I'm like, well, I know I beat you. There you go. Not important. I did vouch for you. I'm in a stream once we were talking about the decline of fighting games in Street Fighter 6. Well, I appreciate that, dude. If that happened, thank you very much. BLN Snake. Where's Pikachu and Pernili Ekmek? Pikachu's upstairs. I could go get him, I guess. Nikarasu Reviews. Wait, is that the... Is that the... Is that what your YouTube is? Is it reviews? Nick is a person who has been kind enough before he has let me stay at his humble abode. Well, I've been in Japan before, so shout outs to Nick for giving me a place to stay in Japan before. Different than kick, yeah. Mr. Nobody, you're welcome, man. I truly appreciate your tech videos, and as someone with life experience, just how valuable it can be. Yeah. Just, I don't know, man. I've said it before. All my haters have run from me every single time, dude. And they continue to run. I saw some person recently, they're trying to say that they saw me playing Guilty Gear and I was very bad. And I'm like, when have I played Guilty Gear recently? I haven't played Guilty Gear in years, dude. And I'm like, but you just saw me playing Guilty Gear and I was doing terribly. Well, it was not me because I haven't played the game in years. So, I mean, it just goes to show these people, everyone just runs or makes up something completely random. I did see someone draw parallels between you and Tom Brady. So, you know what? I don't want to throw my hat into the Tom Brady thing because, to my knowledge, Tom has done many shady things beforehand. I know I've seen him try to defend me before as well, but I've seen Tom. I don't know if everything Tom has done is always on the up and up. So personally, I would prefer to keep Tom at a distance if you get what I'm talking about. I support Tom in terms of if we are exposing the hypocrisy of the scene, if we are generalizing perhaps some of our views on fighting games, we might have a some common interests in terms of what we believe or what we know, you could say, in fighting games. But again, to my knowledge, Tom is a person that has before done some legitimately shady things. So I would prefer to keep him at a arm's distance. Does that make sense? Kind of like you could say, God, you could say LTG. Maybe some things I agree with what LTG has said, but LTG has also done some shady things. So, I am an honest to a fault kind of person. If someone's going to hate me, I want them to hate me for something that is absolute. And I would prefer to be hated for being honest to a fault, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So that is, you know, I've heard, even when I was in the community, I heard of a number of stories that Tom, unfortunately, was not always on the up and up. Again, like we're talking early 2000s, I had heard stories about Tom had scammed people out of rent money and stuff like that. And then since I left the community, I heard there was some stories about he had people donate to him to go to tournaments and took the money and never went, that kind of thing. So that makes me, you know, again, I have heard Tom actually has tried to defend me before, which I appreciate, but at the same time, I would prefer to keep that relationship, if you want to call it, at arm's distance. Does that make sense? So, you know. Mall talk. What's going on? KC Sniper, crush his gem. Crush his gem? What does crush his gem mean? I mean, LTG is just an idiot straight up. I find it funny whenever he says something about fighting games. Well, I just meant in terms of, I've heard LTG before, apparently has tried to call it the hypocrisy of the fighting game community. And I think I even made a video about that. And I'm like, I'm not saying I support LTG or something. I think someone had asked me about him. But I'm like, if you're telling me that LTG, excuse me, has talked about the hypocrisy of the scene, do I agree with it? Oh, well, yes, I guess I agree with him there. I'm not throwing my hat in the LTG fanboy or something like that. He's not somebody I watch, but I mean, I can agree with him on something. Just joined. What happened to. Wait, I guess it's just like the bell curve meme. Tom gave the money back. Did he give the money back? No, so someone had asked me about. No, Tom Brady got mentioned and that we have similar views. And I was just saying that Tom is someone that I don't know about his reputation now, but to my knowledge, Tom has done some shady things in the past. So, I don't want to totally throw I prefer to, again, I'm an honest to a fault kind of person. And if people are going to hate me, I want them to hate me for something that is true. And so I don't want to necessarily join. I would prefer to keep him at a distance, right? Even if we agree on certain things, if that makes sense. Andy Kingpin, hey, hello from the Swimmer Nick community. Shout outs to Swimmer Nick. What's going on, dude? Losing Iris has been one of the biggest L's ever. Did we lose him? Is he not around anymore or something? Hey Clayton, what are your thoughts on the new Virtual Fighter game coming out? I didn't think there was any real footage of it. I thought it's just like a lot of promotional footage. So I've said before that I think Virtual Fighter is. God, I know this sounds like sacrilegious, but I was always somewhat that I liked Virtual Fighter, Soul Calibur, and even Dead or Alive more than Tekken. Even though I know Tekken is like the most popular thing to like, Tekken is a game that I just never got into. But I kind of liked Virtual Fighter when I was younger, and I liked Dead or Alive, and I liked Soul Calibur. But you know, I've said before, I wish I knew where my Sega Saturn was and Fighters Megamix because I used to know a lot of weird bugs in Fighters Megamix. So it would be fun if one day I could ever find my Sega Saturn, find Fighters Megamix, and try to remember all the bugs I knew in the game. But I guess that's my thought on sort of Virtual Fighter, I guess. Where are we? Harry Seaward 01. Yo, Clayton, shout out from Toronto. Big fan. I appreciate it, dude. Thanks. Mall Talk. Your takes on fighting games and tech are godlike, man. Got me back into the fighting game community. I appreciate the kind words. Thank you. Where did you go? KC Sniper 1601. So are you like gay or something? What's your deal? No, I'm not gay. I mean, I have an OnlyFans. If you are gay, it's okay. And if you want to see my PP, you can pay me to see my PP. I mean, I'll send you a voice message if you want as well. If you want me to send you a voice message and say that pull out your wallet for daddy to help me pay for medical bills, um, you can go do that. I'll give you a taste. Pull out your wallet for daddy right now. Right? I mean, but no, I'm not actually gay. I'm sorry, but if you want to support the OnlyFans, I guess, by all means, you can do that. Dead or Alive 7 thoughts. To my knowledge, there is no actual Dead or Alive 7 footage, so I don't really have anything to say. But I hope Dead or Alive 7 is better than the last one. I feel like Dead or Alive 6, they took out a lot of the fun, right? So hopefully Dead or Alive 7 goes back to earlier games. Where are we? Harry Seward. Yeah, I'm not gay. Sorry. Not important. I'm going into game design as a career, and I'm thinking about how I can apply your level of theory to design fighting games. Departure. What's up, OG? What's up? Casey Sniper. Gay for pay. I already said I'm not gay. Sorry. I mean, if you want to see my dick, though, yes, I'll send you my dick if you want to give me money. I mean, whatever. Clayton, do you ever go to any arcades and play in your local area? We have a cool spot where I'm at with Alpha 3 and Hyper. No, I don't go to arcades. Like I said, I haven't played games in years. Even when I'm in Japan, I don't go to arcades. It doesn't matter to me. The only time I would go to an arcade in Japan is if I have to go to the bathroom. Otherwise, video games are... I mean, look at my recent video with my health. I don't know how many times I have to show my health record. Dude, I can barely hold a controller, dude. Like, people think I practice video games all the time. It's, like, impossible. Even when Final Fantasy Remake came out a couple years ago, I had to take breaks even playing Final Fantasy Remake, dude. Like, my hands are not in good condition, dude, even if I wanted to play games. Michael Theodore, 5149. He has done some shady stuff, but he owned up to it and then some. Tom is all right, and he knows his stuff. Yeah, so, I mean, I'm not talking shit about Tom's... I'm not well-versed on Tom, so to speak. I don't know about Mortal Kombat. I don't play... Like I said, my only real experience with Mortal Kombat in the community is the Aaron Davis guy. Small World, I was out. And the Aaron Davis guy who works at, Netherrealm or whatever, he's like, "Are you Final Showdown?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Dude," he's like, "I work for Netherrealm." And he's like, "Everyone knows your Johnny Cage combo videos from like Mortal Kombat 9." And like, that was like a huge inspiration for me and everybody else. So that was a very small world thing, but he works for Netherrealms, and he actually told me they were very impressed with my Johnny Cage stuff in Mortal Kombat 9 when I made all those videos for the game right when it came out. And I guess it like inspired him, I guess he said. So other than that, I don't have anything to add Mortal Kombat wise. So I don't know. I think Tom is a Mortal Kombat guy, so but no, I don't really have anything deep to say about it, I guess. Greatest Kai player of all time. Thank you, Harry. I appreciate it. Clayton is a toxic Pikachu. How would you change Adon in Street Fighter 6? In Street Fighter 6 or just how if I was changing Street Fighter? I guess I'd have to make a video about it, I guess. Mr. Huge 223 Clayton, why is your Reddit private? Because I kept having people stalk me, and even unfortunately, I am stalked so frequently that like anytime I post on Reddit, like people automatically start downvoting stuff, and even people I've seen who have said anything positive about me, my stalkers now stalk them on all social media and automatically downvote anything they do. So I'm like, man, motherfuckers are just crazy, dude. So that's what happened there. So I'm like, I'm just going to private. If you see my post, I mean, I had some guy, some stalker from, it might have been, what was it, from Germany or Poland I saw recently, was going around to every single Reddit post I had, posting on it, and then if he had seen anyone that had liked one of my posts and said something positive about a post, he was posting about me too. Just a psycho stalker, dude. And I'm like, these people are so crazy, dude. Not important. LMO, KG Revolver. How's your health, man? Are you doing any better? No, I'm not doing good at all. I gotta go see, what am I doing this week? I got an ENT again today, or no, Wednesday's ENT, because my ears have ruptured, so I gotta go do stuff, checking that out again. Thursday I have a doctor appointment, and then next week, and then it was next week, physical therapy, right? And then I think that after that week, I got to go to the neurologist to get checked out about the cyst growing in my brain. I got to get that checked out and talk about other nerve stuff. And then after that week, I got to start talking to the surgeons about if I want to go through surgery. And I'm sure that will not be a good conversation. And, I'm sure I won't pick the very first doctor I talk to, but seemingly things are getting worse and worse, and to the point that I have to, inevitably, I'm probably going to have surgery. Things are probably, things are not good. So. Where are we? Have you ever cared about games like Yu-Gi-Oh or just fighting games? No, I don't know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh, sorry. King of Fighters 98. Yeah, I like King of Fighters. I mean, I'm not super well versed. I don't think I'm good enough to do a game theory video on King of Fighters 98. I can generalize about King of Fighters, and I've said this for many years, that King of Fighters had just started becoming McJuggles. Everything juggles. They just ran out of ideas. Every game progression element of King of Fighters just became, this move will juggle now, this move will juggle now. A system what gives you a bigger combo. And it just is, I'm sorry, that's not big brain. I'm not impressed by every new idea you have is something juggles it more. That's not impressive to me. And like I said, King of Fighters, it just lost all its charm to me. I wonder if CPS chainings returning would add flavor to a game system. I wouldn't be totally against that, I suppose. Tim Olamoti, message retracted. I don't know what you said. Darren's Gooch, message retracted. I don't know what you said. Double B, sad face. Nobody, Mr. Nobody, gotta get back to work. Take it easy. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you speaking on not being held to on. Blah, blah, blah. Appreciate you speaking on not being to hold a controller. Been there week with 2x kill inflammation. Is the Guilty Gear XX series your most played fighting game? No. No, not at all. Like I said, Guilty Gear, I was already on disability by 2003. I only kept entering tournaments because I could win, and I was winning. But I had already, I've said before, once, I went on disability at 2003, and I really started getting more and more into RPGs. And, I have a lot of fond memories of playing RPGs, and I have more RPG hours, I'm sure, than I do fucking fighting games. But it was probably, in a way, it was bad. It's one of those things, like I said before. Do I blame myself? I mean, I don't know if I blame myself because I was young and I believed my doctors, I didn't realize just how sick I was. And then, eventually I was dying. But, as I got sicker and sicker, I only just played fighting games because I could win. So random tournaments, that kind of thing. But, I really got into RPGs, and although I had fun, there's also a part of me that thinks that, man, I really was, I had just given up on life and I was just waiting to die. Again, who knows? Who knows what would have happened if, what if I didn't go through the radiation, and what if I just had my thyroid removed surgically, Maybe I wouldn't have all the autoimmune diseases that I have today, right? But I don't know. Where are we? Maybe you can say Mortal Kombat combo roots are Clayton expired. The only game that I did that for was Mortal Kombat 9, I think it was. And like I said, the Aaron guy, he works for Nether Realms, and that was like a very small world thing. He just saw me in public and he was like, "Are you Final Showdown?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Dude, we've all seen your Mortal Kombat 9 Johnny Cage videos." He's like, "That's what inspired me." And so that was a very small world. That was a nice thing of him to say. But yeah, Mortal Kombat 9, it's on my channel yeah. But, this is back, I've done stuff for like every kind of fucking fighting game there is, dude. Like, Street Fighter 2 still put out stuff that no one else ever has. Soul Calibur, stuff that no one else ever has. Street Fighter Alpha, anime games, Marvel games. There's like no kind of fighting game besides maybe Smash Brothers that I haven't kind of done tech for, Maybe CPS chains can have a tighter execution window than normal combos. I don't know. Street Fighter 8 on the way you would... Yeah, so I don't know anything about a Street Fighter 6 8-on. I don't know. That doesn't particularly interest me. I kind of want to stalk this guy now. What do you think is the worst thing someone can do in life? Oh, geez. What is the worst thing someone can do in life? I don't know. I mean, there's many bad things you could do to somebody. Jesus Christ, I don't know. Soy Jam. Casey Sniper, you from the IRL community. I got some crazy stalkers too. Seems to come with the turf. I'm from the Tekken thread on I don't know what that means. Hope everything is going good. Nothing good here. We need Karnov weak point system. Hi, Clayton. Happy Monday. Hope you're doing all right. Thank you, Awaken Sebastian 7224. Andre Villafrance. I thought it was Andre Villafranca. I've never been so disappointed and bored by fighting games. The past 10 years have been progressively worse for the genre. The only game I can see progressing things is Virtua Fighter 6. I don't know what Virtua Fighter 6 is shown to see it's going to progress. I have no idea. You'd have to aware me. All fighting games need to remove auto combos, noob entry mechanics, and just make sure they are fun first and balanced later. I agree with that to an extent, although I've said before, I don't think auto combos actually have to be bad, and I've made many videos on it before. Some auto combos are not bad, I think, actually, but 852 Lorenzo, what would you say to someone who is working a boring 9 to 5 and has a dream of being a fully funded top player? I would say that that is a not very realistic dream. I would say that you have your work cut out for you. I would be. I don't know. Does anyone know what the ratio is of people that actually make a living off of being a full time top player in fighting games? I would assume that's pretty rare. BL and Snake. Legend of Dragoon was my favorite RPG. Ah, yes. Clayton, tell us about your childhood. I don't have many good childhood stories to tell you, unless you want like depressing things or something. I don't think there will ever be anyone like you again, Clayton. That is sweet of you to say. Melee is the most in-depth game if you can get into Smash's Nutty. Any thoughts on the Avatar fighting game? Not really. Personally, I think it looks kind of ugly when I look at it. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I think it looks kind of ugly personally, but I mean, if you have fun with it, you have fun with it. I don't know if I'll play it, but I mean, it looks different, I guess. You know, different isn't always bad, so it looks different, I guess. I haven't played it or seen much of it to give a deep opinion on it. I thought I heard that Mike Z is working on it though, which, like I said, I'm kind of salty about that dude. I don't know if I want to support that dude anymore. So part of me thinks that even if I wanted to play it, I don't know if I would support it anymore personally, but what are your favorite RPGs and which fighting game did you play the most? My favorite RPGs, like I said, the first 2/3 of Star Ocean 3 are one of my favorite games of all time, but the last third of Star Ocean 3 is god awful. But the first 2/3 of it, I have a lot of fond memories of. Like I said, I probably have over 500 hours in Star Ocean 3. I think I played through it multiple times. I did it normal difficulty. What's it called? Like universe difficulty, 4D difficulty. I mean, I did pretty much everything in the game. Almost everything in the game, I guess. And most played fighting game? I don't know. I don't know, actually. It's hard to say. Not sure. How did they fumble the bag with fighting games so bad? Like, well, stuff like 2XKO, like I said, they hired a bunch of people that haven't actually done what they said they've done. You know, I just mean, I don't know. I don't know why people try to make up excuses for the game and they say that the game wasn't being marketed properly. I get ads for the game all the time. I've had other people tell me they get ads for the game all the time too. I think it's absolutely nonsense that I think that people say that the game was not marketed. The game was marketed a lot. Just admit that it failed. I mean, come on, dude. Might be worse than the 2000. It's not. At least games releasing today are playable online. You sure you're okay? Oh yeah, no. No. You could see the videos now. My health is not good at all. Right now, it's just kind of like how much worse can it get? Like I said, I did an MRI and I got a cyst growing in my brain, which isn't good news. Which could be very bad because I had a cyst before that they said was a cyst and it ended up being a tumor. So if the glass is half empty right now, that would be the scariest thing that it's actually not a cyst, it's another tumor because I've had that happen before where they thought it was a cyst and it ended up being a tumor, but you know, things are getting worse and they could get potentially much worse right now, but I guess we'll see what happens. Tom Brady said the FGC is the worst place to go for talented young players in video games. I'm not sure. I don't know what to compare it to. I guess I don't think that the. I mean, I don't know if we really have. It's hard to say because just because you're talented at one thing doesn't mean you're talented at another. I like Mega Man games. I like Sonic games. I'm not some famous speed runner of Sonic games. I'm not some fucking famous speed runner of Mega Man games. So just because I've done all this stuff that no one else has ever done in fighting games doesn't mean that my talent, quotation marks, would automatically mean that I'm good at a different game. So I'm not sure what to say to that. I don't think that we're not all meant to be talented at everything. So I don't know really what to say about that one. Smash players can't. We play for packets of rice. Right now, I can barely even save up enough money to compete at a major. Are you going to be the tech guy in Tokon like you were for Dragon Ball Fighter Z? What about Invincible Verse? Right now, I don't plan on playing Tokon at all because there's no character that I want to play, but I've said before that I think Tokon looks more interesting. And I mean, look at it already. I already pretty much called it. I mean, fucking, I said that I didn't think 2X KO was going to last. I said a long time ago that I'm surprised that they have not fired all these people on the team yet. I'm like, and I even said before, this game is going to fail because of the people making it. I even said before, I think the characters that they have, that they've shown so far, I think they're actually okay. But I was like, this is not a team that is comprised of, full of big galaxy brains like they've said. This is not a team that is going to make a game that is going to change the perspective on fighting games. And when I looked at the interviews, I'm like, the only interviews for the game, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I'm like, I can't believe that people haven't been fired for this game. And even if you look at the last summer and look at my videos and go look at social media and people are like, no, 2XKO is going to be okay. It's going to last. And no, Tokon is boring. Tokon will not last. And look how fast that has switched. And I'm like, dude, I think Tokon is actually fulfilling the assignment better than 2XKO. Right now, Tokon, although quotation marks simple, it looks just different enough. And I think it looks just solid enough that they can actually expand on this game. This game might work. And now look at what we see. Oh man, Tokon actually is cool. And now 2XKO, they fucking fired half the people on the team. I mean, I don't know, dude. I've been predicting games for, as you've seen, 25 plus years. I have yet to be wrong. I mean, come on. Where are we? Hey, Onicio Clayton. I don't know what that is. Avatar fighting game is another aggression over everything game, apparently. I mean, I don't know what to say about Avatar. Like I said, my own personal gripe with the game is that, and it's not even game, my petty, which of course my haters will be tickled to hear me mention, is I've gone out of my way many times to defend Mike Z. Mike Z, you can go back and look when people are canceling him. He was on our live stream. Well, I love you guys. So it's our live stream, not my live stream. It's our live stream as we talk about fighting games. He came on the live stream. He's like, man, and he even says, like, Clayton, you're the only person who asked me how I was okay this entire time. And he's like, everyone else that shitted on me, that like canceled me, he's like, you're the only person that ever asked how I was doing, if I was okay. And I even told him, that's fucked up, dude, because we're not even real friends. We're not even real friends. And you're telling me that I'm the only person that ever has asked if you're okay? He's like, yeah. And you know what happened more recently these past couple years while I was doing all this Marvel vs. Capcom 2 tech with Hayato and people were lying about me? Mike Z wouldn't defend me. And I was like, wow, dude. And I was just like, okay. And I'm like, bro, we went from you telling me that no one else in the entire fighting game community, I was the only person that was still willing to talk to you. And then when people like Ramnito are lying about me, who I even offered him $100 to show me proof of one thing he talked about, and then Mike Z wouldn't say anything. And that just goes to show, I need to stop, all I do is I defend people. I try to be a good person, and then it just goes to show you, dude. I mean, although for what it's worth, though, I should know better than to think that Mike Z would actually defend me. He's not exactly an alpha male kind of guy. He doesn't strike me as a guy that would actually defend me. But I lost a lot of respect for him as a person. So, and now I've heard that he's working on the Avatar game. So I don't really feel like giving him any more credence. I don't even know what you would say. Do you think fighting games have a future in the indie side of the industry? Well, isn't the Avatar game kind of like an indie game? Or am I wrong about that? What other Capcom games do you like besides fighting games? Like I said, I like Mega Man. I mean, Virtual Fire 6 Defense seems to be more interesting and fun, as well as focus damage and no juggle bullshit like Tekken. The overall realism is missing. So I don't know anything about Virtual Fighter 6's defensive system. To my knowledge, there's no real footage of the game yet. So there's nothing for me to analyze. I thought it's just all promotional material. There's no actual real footage of the game. What's surprising is Riot not axing them sooner than they did. I agree with that. I would have. I'm shocked that in their own interviews for the game they insulted Riot multiple times. So like I said, I'm like, these people are just. It's only a matter of time before they're fired. I mean, I was shocked by how bad some of the interviews were. The Timo ad. If you're a 2x Go player, what's your Guilty Gear mindset? Would you win? If you're a 2x KO player with your Guilty Gear mindset, would you win tournaments? I wish for 2x KO to grow. No inputs, and the BB tag sauce is what got me there, especially the former. I don't have a precedent for winning at tag team games, so I would say no. I mean, who knows? I mean, I'm like I said, I've said many times before. Raw skill wise, I have no fear of any player whatsoever. But you could say I don't have a precedent for ever being a tag team player, so there's no reason to assume I would win. Let's say, unless you're just going that I won many other tournaments in different games. You could say, despite not really practicing, but I've never been a tag team player, so. How is it like to be a model? I was never a famous model. I've had opportunities to be, but um, modeling stuff is not everything is fair in modeling. I've had or I've lost jobs and opportunities for not wanting to have sex with bosses, that kind of thing. So that kind of thing happens to guys too, you know. And when I was at my most popular, I've had a lot of health problems, so I couldn't even take advantage of it. So there's a skill to modeling too. I've modeled with super young girls, like teeny bopper girls, and they're like pose, 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 pose. I don't have that kind of thing. I'm like fake. Like I know it was on my Instagram recently. I had my camera out, and it's funny when they did. I had a group of people came up to me this past weekend while I was out. They asked to take pictures with me. Thought I was famous. I just like fake it, right? Like people just stop me in public pretty frequently to take pictures with me. I just have like a very specific look. God, I even had a grandma stop me. She just started like following me around. I heard, I turned back and she's like, "Oh my God, I've been following you." She's like, "You just have this specific walk. Like I've never seen anybody like walk like you." And she's like, "I can say it because I'm old, but are you famous? Can we take a picture?" I was like, "Bro, I appreciate your compliment, but I'm not famous." Where are we? Where are we? Sorry, I try to read every comment, so I'm back. Why are you so dramatic and weird? What are you talking about? What did I say that was dramatic and weird in this chat? Does anyone know what I said was dramatic and weird in this chat? I mean, feel free to expose me. Just like I'm sure any other hater watching this, please feel free to expose me for what was so dramatic and what did you say? What was so dramatic and weird in this chat that I've said so far? What? I mean, I've always, like I said, I feel like every live stream I've done, I've had people say they're going to challenge me, and everyone just runs. This is your challenge to me that this stream has been very dramatic and weird. What did I say in this stream that was dramatic and weird? Anyway, a lot of these guys should apply their knowledge to cage matches instead of playing the kusoge, and you are right. Fiendish D3F. Being good at a game and understanding game design are two different things. Every time you bring these players on a developed team, they only focus on what they like instead of something intuitive. Well, definitely, I agree that 2XKO's problem was they only hired people who like one specific type of game. I've said many times before, I don't claim that I could make my own game. I couldn't make my own game of totally original characters, a full cast. You know, if I was making a game, I would have to have people help me. You know, I'm not so egotistical and, full of myself that I think I can make a brand new game, but the problem is the 2XKO people are that. And they hired a team that only like one type of game. So it's like, of course, you're not going to make the game you set out when you only like one goddamn fucking thing. Like, come on. What do you think about Tekken 8? I don't have anything deep to tell you about. Have you seen the new Mega Man X glitch used in the speedrun? Yeah, the crystal thing in Mega Man X2. Yeah. Like I said, the speedrunning community is interesting to me because excuse me, I'm eating some cereal. The speedrunning community is interesting to me because if we're to compare it to the tech community in fighting games, the speedrunning community, and if you look at this Mega Man X2 glitch, they are more than willing to almost always give credit to the person that finds new tech. Even if it's something random, if it's something useful. Generally, when I look at speedruns, speedrunning communities are very kind to people that actually find stuff. But if you look at fighting games, well, look at me. They just do not want to shout me out, even though I've done more than anyone else in the history of fighting games. It's just lie after lie, and all they do is they give themselves credit. It's ridiculous, dude. But speedrunning, if we're to contrast that, is interesting because speedrunning community is generally very kind to people that find new tech, no matter how big or how small, at least in my experience. What do you think about fighting GM? I don't know what fighting GM is. These people need to go back and understand why Street Fighter 2 works. Street Fighter 2 feels like you're actually fighting someone using martial arts knowledge. These games are pure shallow spectacle. Come on, Jimmy from South Park. Clayton, did you ever apply to a Capcom job? Like I said, dude, right now, I'm worried about I might need brain surgery and neck surgery. I'm having days I can't even walk half the time. Sean PQ1GI. What are your thoughts on Tens and Kaide's breakup? I don't even know who that is. I just think the Avatar game looks ugly and the movement looks funky. I do think it looks ugly personally as well. I always wanted to hear the story about the girl who was obsessed with you in high school and the fast food job. Oh, okay. I could tell that story. Let me get a drink of water. I'll be back and I can tell that story. apologize. I know there's lots of comments, but I try to always answer every comment. My stalker in high school, that was a girl. Well, I didn't know that she was my stalker. You know, I didn't find out until I found out, whatever, a year or two later. But I remember where I was actually. I was walking around town and I was outside of the Myers, and this girl comes up to me. She's like, "Oh my God, you're Clayton, right? Blah, 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 whatever." And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh yeah, I used to stalk you in high school." And I was like, "Oh, really?" And, you know, I didn't think much of it when she said it, but she's like, "Yeah, do you know how you always skip school and you went this exact route?" And dude, she told me the exact route that I would use to skip school. And I was like, "Oh, geez, she did stalk me, right?" So, because when I would skip school, I used to always have this specific way that I would go to get away from the hall monitors, right? And so I would like take a turn, then I would go in a bathroom, then take a turn, and then like leave school kind of thing, right? And I even told the story one time I did get caught. And so then I had to hide in the bathroom for like the entire day. And they're because they were like, "Clayton, we know you're skipping school again. Come out of the bathroom." And I was like, "No, I can't. I got just vicious diarrhea." And they're like, "Clayton, you don't have diarrhea. Get out of the bathroom." I'm like, "No, it's bad. I can't get out." All right. So, and then I remember this one girl after that, she gave me like the nickname Rhea because, you know, diarrhea. So she's like, "Oh, hey, what's up, Rhea?" And I'm like, "I swear, it was just really bad diarrhea. I wasn't skipping." But anyway, so the girl, she, you know, she told me the exact way that I would skip school. I'm like, "Oh, ugh." I was like, "Geez, I guess you did stalk me." And I was like, "Well, nice to meet you. Thank you." And well, she must have wanted like a different response, right? Because then she started working with me. She found out where I work. And I swear, dude, she looked like she wanted to kill me, dude. And well, thank God I stopped working eventually, and I never saw her again. But yeah, that's pretty crazy. I guess I was like, "Damn, I guess you did stalk me." That's the exact route I used to go to skip school. Like I said, and then she started working with me, and I was like, "Oh God." Fast food job. I don't have too much interesting to say about McDonald's. I don't know. I mean, the funniest thing is that some people, they used to take the cream packets and they would, to be funny, they would put cream packets all where the cars would drive over. And so then when the cars would like start driving up, it'd be like, and so we used to laugh like that when we would hear the cars pulling up. And I think the only other real funny thing that I remember about the fast food job was that I had this one guy that I knew, and he was like a fuck up, and he went on his break, and he took like every, you know, Big Mac box, chicken box, whatever, and he just stuffed all this food on it. He's like, "I'm going on break," and then he put as much food as he could in all this bag, and he just told the boss, "And I quit." And he just like walked out with all this food, and I mean that it gave me a chuckle. I remember that happening, but I think the only other funny fast food job that I could tell that wasn't me, but my brother told me when he was working at Little Caesars, is that him and his friend, and his friend was just like, "I don't think I want to work anymore." And he just, and like, they're just talking about it. And then he just went to the boss. He's like, "Hey, I left my car on. Can I go turn it off?" And the boss was like, "Yeah, go turn it off." And he just like, he left and he just got in his car. He just looked at the boss and he said he just drove away. And they're like, "I guess Ryan quit." And they're like, "Yep, I guess he quit." And that was, I mean, that gave me and my friends a chuckle when we heard that story. But yeah, that was a funny story, I guess. Oh boy. Where are we? I think the last trailer of Virtual Fighter 6 has real gameplay. Does it? I guess I haven't seen it. I didn't know that there was real gameplay. I don't know. Excuse me. Why are a lot of top ranking fighter game players gay? I don't know. 2XKO is 5 out of 12 characters with an undercut haircut. You're right about Street Fighter 6. It's the most boring Street Fighter game I've probably ever played. Even Street Fighter 5 was better. What I mean by mindset is fighting tech and stuff. Like your Kai combos a matchup specific tech. You mean could I find tech in 2XKO if I played? I mean, I'm sure I could. Must be the Aderazine that made the freaking frogs game. What's your PRS on your compound lifts, bro? I don't have any. Like I said, I do body weight stuff and band stuff. 2XK was so bare bone. I suspect pro players only play fighting games and nothing else, which is not a bad thing, except when you have to design one. They can't bring fresh ideas. Female bosses? Probably males. What do you consider more enjoyable in fighting games personally? Labbing tech, discovering new options for different interactions, or playing against other people and learning matchups? So labbing does not consider discovering. Oh, I would think that finding things is probably the most fun thing, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't really play anymore, so I mean, but I don't know. Yeah, I think discovering new things is fun. You ever gonna cosplay Resident Evil 4 Leon? I don't know. Everyone who makes it big has to give it up in the entertainment biz. Everyone. Do these girls ever? Oh shit! Are we still on? Okay. Do these girls ever have a ring finger? L Rage Baiter. Hope you feel better. I got back from my vet. My cat was ill for 5 days. He's getting better now. That's good. Silly comment. John fighting game. 2XKO lack good direction. Holy. Most people working on fighting games this day only like one type of game forced into other games like Street Fighter 6. Hope they do Final Fantasy 14 and remake the game. I want to play Echo, but the game is ass. You are spitting facts. What do you think of platform fighters like Smash Brothers or the Outfoxies? I don't know what the Outfoxies is. I have no idea what that is. But Smash Brothers is fine. I have no idea what the Outfoxies is, though. Addy Sensei 58009. Hello, Clayton. What's up? Lightning KO. I shouted you out in the Plus R Discord with W. Clayton just to give you credit. A shit show ensued and I left. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Speed running community full of troons, but at least is less toxic than the current fighting game community. More pride in speedrunning, I guess. Maybe it says it actually takes more skill than fighting games, or skills is not a big relevant thing in fighting games. I remember seeing a comment on a FGC shit post on YouTube, and it said, I thank God every day for not making Mr. a fan of fighting games. Making Mr. a fan of fighting games? Slayer XV message retracted. I don't know what you said. Guess you can say she's a good stalker. I wanted to hear this story. Let's go. Least schizofoid. Bro, stop streaming, get good health first, and be cleared by doctors. I used to skip school a lot. Yandere girl. What is your ideal fighting game? How would you describe a perfect game? I don't think any fighting game is perfect. Now Stalker Chan has a husband and 3 kids. That thing doesn't exist. Clayton has done that for years. He really ever yeah, I don't stream very often. Dude, he should get surgery first, like again. I mean, I've already had surgery before. It's not like not horny about getting more. That's why I put in questions. I'm just worried. I thought he was a doozy, but turns out he's a really good POV. I'm just worried. I thought he was a doozy, but turns out he's a really good POV. Huh? A perfect game is subjective to what you see compared to what everyone else thinks. Hey, Clayton, you okay, bro? I am not okay. Yo, I'm here for the toxic positivity, boys. Don't be mean to 2XKO. Deadly Rave Neo, hello. Is Guilty Gear worth getting into if you want to? The Guilty Gear XX games are worth it. Like, for example, I don't think BlazBlue is a perfect game, but it does present some interesting ideas for every character with the drive button. I agree. You mean just W. Clayton and fixing in Toxicity Frame 1. Super rookie. Guilty Gear XX and Guilty Gear XR series is very worth getting into, in my opinion. Ugh. have caught up with the comments. It looks like that dude that was saying that I was being super dramatic, he ran away. I don't know, dude. I swear this community. There was some guy in my comments recently trying to tell everybody that like I'm a secret Nazi and I swear there's just so many weird shit that people will make up to try to get people to not watch my videos, dude. Lord. Oh Lord. Where are we? Oh, BlazBlue is definitely not perfect. Do you think Tokon will fail? I've already said that I think Tokon will do better than 2XKO. I said that this summer when they showed it again, and I was right. I mean, people were talking shit about Tokon. They're like, no, Tokon looks too boring. 2XKO is going to be where it's at. And I'm like, dude, I can't believe that people haven't been fired for 2XKO yet. This game is going to fail, dude. And then what happened? Now you hear people, oh, 2XKO, half the team got fired. And wait, oh, Tokon is actually cool. And I'm like, dude, I've been predicting these games for 20 fucking 5 years, dude. Kingdom Hearts is light. I liked Kingdom Hearts 2 a lot. Kingdom Hearts 3, I didn't really care for. Like I said, when I tried to get into Kingdom Hearts 3 after, and God, yeah, that game was old by the time it came out, right? It took, what, 10 years for it to come out or some shit like that? Or probably more than 10 years, right? I feel like Kingdom Hearts 2 to Kingdom Hearts 3 is more than 10 years. All I know is Kingdom Hearts 3 lost me when they had that fucking, I feel like it's really early on in the game. And that guy comes out and he's like, the cards have told me that the cards will know this, but the card also told me that this card will be fake, which means that I know that this card was from another deck, which means that all the cards are fake, which means I have predicted the cards. And I was like, what? And then the cutscene just ends. And I'm like, I think this game is trying to be deep, but it's just too deep for me. I'm like, I'm out. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I was just like, what the fuck? I wasted 10 years waiting for this cutscene. And I'm like, this is retarded, dude. Fuck me. I was like, dude, what is this fucking shit, dude? I was like, this is so stupid. Yeah, so Kingdom Hearts 3 I was not impressed with, but I actually kind of liked Kingdom Hearts 2. I enjoyed myself. But then Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, and like I said, that's an early cutscene in the game too. That cutscene happens real early, and I was just like, oh my god, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, you have lost me. Where are we? I mean, you're a really good player and you're not toxic. I had a bad impression then. Well, thank you for switching your thoughts. I mean, no one, like I said, I don't understand. Like I said, I say we, although I guess it was me, but like I said, I couldn't even believe I found out that the reason I was blacklisted from SRK was because of that Keats motherfucker. And I'm like, dude, and Keats is one of Josh's best friends who is a huge Clayton is a hospital hacker retard. You know, I mean, it's no one, like I said, every live stream I've ever said, like any of my haters can come in, they can challenge me. You know, no one has anything real. It's ridiculous. I can't believe when you see that stupid toxic pox like Max. Oh my God. You know, I should actually ask C4 how much he was actually paid, because even C4 admitted that when he's done Bandai Namco streams, they have rules. You're not allowed to say Clayton Chapman. He even said that. He said, if anyone says Clayton, you got to pretend the chat is broken. You have to give credit to other people. So when you see nonsense like that fucking Max saying that, you know, unlike other people who won't change their opinion for $1,000, where the fuck he was saying, I'm like, Max, how much did you get paid to lie about me, you fucking idiot? Fucking asshole. Ridiculous. Clayton, do you have a P.O. box? I don't trust people from the community. to give a PO box. I had one person said they were going to send me something. They're like, "Hey, I want to see you play games. Let me send you a controller." And they legit sent me a broken controller. And I was like, I don't think, I want to believe that they didn't send me a broken controller to troll me, but they did send me a broken controller. I'm like, dude, you sent me a broken controller. And I was like, whatever, dude. And the thing is, I think I had to pay for the shipping. So technically, I lost money. I didn't have to pay for the controller, but they sent me a broken controller and I had to pay them, what, $15 to ship it or something. So, no, I don't give my P.O. box. Does you ever hang with your bro in his furry suit? I think you said your bro was a gay furry and that. Oh, that's my middle brother. No, we don't hang out. No, I don't. I could not even tell you the last year that I have talked to that brother. He just is, he's, he's legitimately, autistic, retarded, so I think he's also like bipolar or something. So, no, I have not talked to him in years. I think the last even words I heard is that, he said that I had a YouTube and that, people shouldn't care about him having sex in animal suits because I also think animals are real because I think Pikachu is real and I have a YouTube where Pikachu is real and he talks to me. And I was like, please never tell me about this brother ever again. I don't want to hear anything about this dude for the rest of my life. I was like, I don't even care. I don't need to hear anything about this dude. So that was years and years ago. So I have no contact with him whatsoever. BlazBlue sucks in a lot of areas, definitely story-wise. I just don't get why people dislike you, Clayton. You seem like a legit fine person to me. I appreciate it. Well, I would love to hear why people actually hate me too. No one seems to actually be able to give a real reason. And if the gameplay isn't too bare bones, like there has to be a lot of interesting text. Surprised people haven't AI you for anything like being a Nazi. The only AI thing I've seen is I've seen some people make fake AI videos of me with other guys trying to like doing gay stuff. I have seen people actually try to post stuff like that before. And I was just like, oh man, okay. What? You ever watch speedrunners like Lord BBH or LRock 617? I don't think I know who LRock 617 is, but Lord BBH, me and him are not friends. That dude's a Looney Tune. He's a Fruit Loop. That dude got mad that I didn't use the name Clayton Chapman to beat people online, and so that means that it doesn't count. He's a Looney Tune. Like I said, I had so my history of BBH is when I first got into Karnav's Revenge, BBH, and you can go look at the tier list and people will say I'm wrong. A lot of knowledge in Karnav's Revenge. You got to remember when I first started playing Karnav's Revenge, the stuff that I did with Mizuguchi, all those crazy combos, those were considered combo video stuff. Only a couple of Japanese ever even showed that they could do stuff like that off of a dizzy. But no one had ever actually showed that you could aim dizzy spots like I showed was possible, nothing like that. And even look at the tier list that BBH said was possible or was in Karnav's Revenge. BBH was considered one of the best, or if not the best in America for Karnav's Revenge when I first got into the scene. And within, like I said, within like, I don't know, a couple weeks or whatever, I was already considered one of the best in America. And then within a few months, I was considered the best in the world, and that's just me randomly playing the game for shits and giggles, right? And Lord BBH magically just decided he didn't want to play. He said it's because his connection didn't work anymore, like around the time I started playing. Now, could that be true? It could be true. I don't know. I'm just saying. I mean, for what it's worth, I mean, when I like I said, granted, for what it's worth, the reason that I stopped playing on GGPO and Fightcade is because when I got a new computer, it just didn't work on it, but that's something that happened to a lot of people. Like, I think it was like Windows Vista or whatever it was, maybe back then. Like, I got a new computer and it just didn't work like on Windows 7 or 8 correctly. I forget what it was, so I just stopped playing because it just always lagged. But whatever the case, so I remember BBH conveniently, once I was becoming good, no longer wanted to play. And I remember I had one conversation that really struck out to me about the guy. And I don't know if he has like a mental issue, maybe if people know him personally, but I had made the joke and I just said, like, hey, if you want to play Street Fighter Alpha, and he sent me this long message. And he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He's like, you think I would ever fucking play you in fucking Street Fighter Alpha? You think I want to play that fucking game? You are fucking crazy. And it was just like, fuck you, fuck you. And I was like, whoa, I don't know what is wrong with this dude. It was not that big of a deal. And I was like, okay, bro. Like, he went off on me for even suggesting that I play that I was like, you ever want to play Street Fighter Alpha if you don't want to play Carnos? He went like ballistic in a message to me. And I was like, yo, bro, I don't need to suck your dick. I'm considered the best in the world, at Carnos Revenge right now. You're in the past now, okay? You're gonna go off on me in a message like that. So that was my one actual personal interaction with that guy. And I was like, whoa, bro, I don't know if this dude has like a mental issue or if something was going on at the time. But I was like, yo, dude, you're dead to me. I was like, I'm not about to like throw you another, token of friendship for you to send me. Like I said, the dude went ballistic on me. It was insane. And I was like, okay, dude. And since then, I've seen him write messages that it's not fair that I beat people online if I don't use the name Clayton Chapman, because then they don't know that it's me. And it makes me, all my wins are fake because it means they're not ready for me. And it's like, well, if I'm supposed to suck, why the fuck do I have to use the name Clayton Chapman? Who cares if I fucking beat you and I didn't use the name Clayton Chapman? So I don't have a single good thing to say about that guy, to be honest with you. I've heard that Mike Boy had a bad interaction with him as well. But besides that, I don't really know anyone that's ever had interactions with him in real life. Just, I think Mike Boy told me he had a negative interaction with him in real life as well. But other than that, like I said, I had that one negative interaction with him, and he went ballistic in that interaction. And I was like, yo, dude, I was like, whatever, dude. It's not that big of a deal. Makes me wonder if I could find that I wonder if I could find that message. Where did he send me that? Now you got me thinking. Don't make me think. God, I wonder if I could find that. Where would he have sent me that? He went ballistic on me, but love Kingdom Hearts. Tokon will do fine. It will. Tokon will clear 2x KO. It's Marvel, baby. Persona 4, best Persona. I liked Persona 4 a lot, but I never played Persona 1 or Persona 2, so I'm not like a connoisseur of it. But I said before, Persona 3 I liked. Persona 4 I really liked. Persona 5 was just like I said, my Persona 5 game glitched on me at one dungeon, and I already was not having a lot of fun with the game. And when my dungeon glitched on me, it really took a lot of the fun out of it because I had to do the whole dungeon all over. But what I've heard that Persona 5 Royal is actually much better than Persona 5. But the original Persona 5 that I played, I didn't have that much fun with it. And then one of the dungeons glitched on me and I had to redo everything. And it just really took a lot of the fun out for me. Where are we? Geez, crap. Where are we? Sorry, I'm trying to read everything. Ansem is an anagram for Mensa. Kingdom Hearts 3 didn't it get announced in like 2010? I don't remember exactly. Nice deck. 2X scale looks plain as fuck. KH2 is the greatest RPG of all time. KH storytelling turned fuzzy in their 3DS game. Excuse me, do you have a favorite anime? Not offhand, no. Wait 10 years for card cutscene or 10 years for Project L. Yeah, there you go. How's BlazBlue? How's BlazBlue is perfect. In what sense some games do other things than others don't, and neither are perfect. Me personally, I don't like Kingdom Hearts 3, but it could have been better. Also, what kind of name is Keats? Oh, Keats, that's the SRK guy, yeah. I feel the same with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Remake. It tried to change so much of the story and adding the whispers and sounds so deep, but it actually ruined what made the original story so good. Why do people hate you? Because you're mogging them, maybe. Max is such a cornball. I just don't like him. So many different timelines. Yeah, Max actually said a lot about himself in that $1,000 quote. Yeah, you know what? I should have. Does anyone know C4? Actually, what is C4? Like I said, C4 admitted that, people are paid to not say my name, by Bandai Namco. I should have asked them how much money they got for it. If anyone else wants to message him that, I don't know C4's YouTube or Twitter. Someone else would actually have to ask him. I didn't ask him how much. I mean, I would assume they get money, obviously. Just like I'm sure James Chen gets money. Like I said, James Chen messaged me that fucking bullshit, and he was like, I showed him all these quotes, and I'm like, James, you're asking me for help while I'm in the hospital. Why are there all these public posts where you don't want to say my name and you just refer to me as Cece? And he's like, oh, well, I don't say people's real names, so it's not that I'm afraid to say your name, but I can't say anybody's real name. And it's like, James, what about Justin Wong? What about Daigo Umhara? You don't say these people's names? And he's like, oh, well, actually, the reason I don't say your name is because you're a YouTuber and I can't promote YouTubers. He's like, but if you post it on Twitter, I could promote you. And so I specifically, if you look at my YouTube or my Twitter, I posted all that new stuff that I did in CVS2 on Twitter. And I'm like, here you go, James. You love old games. I just did new stuff multiple times in CVS2 that no one else has ever done. 25 years in the game. Will you post it? Now I'm posting on Twitter. And he wouldn't. So, I mean, fuck James. Fucking ridiculous. Fucking asshole. Gave up on Final Fantasy VII Remake after seeing the era scene. Oh, by the way, Clayton, I just realized you're only a few years older than me. I don't know why, but I thought you were born in 1978. No. I'm much younger than that. You got about 10 years. You're about 10 years off, dude. I don't know. I'm old, but I think you're about 10 years off, dude. Why did you, 1978? Jeez, maybe, do I look that old? Man. I would send you a controller that's in the box. I wouldn't open. As a matter of fact, I might send you a controller when I get the chance. Well, I appreciate it if you do. Dude, what in that mid, bro? I hate you because you bully 2XKO. Leave 2XKO. I tell people to play 2XKO. When your middle brother is Christian. I've been subbed to you since 2011. I only started recently engaging in the comments. Rose, same. What do you think about low tier God? I don't have anything deep to say about him. To my knowledge, he has done bad things, which is not good. I personally think people hate you is because you're the ideal white guy and doesn't fake morale and grandstand and you're real with your stuff. I genuinely respect and mess with you truly. Thank you. I appreciate it. To be honest, I'm not feeling Tokon. It feels too Chinese with overly bright colors and not appealing with gritty comic book style that Marvel's Capcom had. I'm going to disagree with you. Like I said, for the time being, I think Tokon has potential. I mean, like I said, I don't know if we'll get in the game, but say, the game has like a special move button. I would like to see stuff like Gambit. You know what I mean? Imagine Gambit could be Gambit's special move button. You think Gambit charges cards? Maybe Gambit has, say, like a Mega Man thing. So you hold down the special move button and he's charging like Mega Man. And then whenever you release it, he shoots out his cards, but they can do more damage, bigger explosion, more frame advantage. Give him some bow staff moves, give him some agile moves, maybe even do something weird where if you do the button input with the special move button, then his staff is also charged when you do the special move, or with the agility, he's kinetically charged and he moves faster or something like that. I'm sure, just to put it out there, I think Tokon actually has potential for new stuff. Just like I talked about for the stages, I think there's potential for the game. And I've said this before. If you think about the briefing for 2XKO, one of the briefings was they want to bring in a casual audience that has more depth once you start playing. Right now, Tokon has done that. Tokon has that sort of casual thing. I mean, if anything, people complain that it's too simple, but you can see Tokon, there's a little bit more to it. Even at this beginning stages, not saying it's rocket science, but you can see there's a little bit more to it. And I don't know if it will go this far, but I see there are foundational things that can actually be really expanded upon, which makes me interested because I like seeing new things. Revenge, what did you say? Revenge, what is that in response to? Where are we? Also, because you beat people in fighting games while having a model appearance, that's also why people hate. They just don't want to believe. Well, like I said, but if you look at a lot of those tournaments that I won, I mean, all my hair was coming out after radiation, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So there was a time that, I mean, I won tournaments very, very, very sick, So, I mean, maybe, sure, when I first got into the scene, I had, long blonde hair, kind of thing, beach boy kind of thing, surfer boy kind of thing. But, I got sick pretty quickly. The era. Fighting games with a broken tier fat guy with left right mix of Vista. You are an unk. Karn's Revenge. They need to make Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 font everything that happened after Aerith death, although better they have no more. Dude went off on you over Street Fighter, bro. These guys are bad. Well, Street Fighter Alpha, isn't it? Yeah, so he went off on me about the Street Fighter Alpha. It was a very exaggerated, unrequired response. And I was like, bro, there was no need for you to go this crazy. And it was like I said, I don't know if he has a mental issue or some shit like that. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I do think Lord BBH is pretty old. He might be in his mid 50s or something. Correct me if I'm wrong. To my knowledge, Lord BBH is pretty old, actually. So I don't know if he's grumpy or some shit like that, but he had a extremely exaggerated response to something that was not that required for the comment, I guess. I was just like, yo, dude, whatever, dude. Come on, man, But Clayton can't beat me at Karn's Revenge. Zero anticipation for the next game. Not a doomer for Final Fantasy like the British Asian dude in YouTube shorts. I don't know who that is. Street Fighter Alpha 3 is interesting. Persona 3 is the best. Persona 4 is my favorite. I love Persona 4. Really disappointed with Aerith's death scene. Original Persona 5 was mid. Persona 3 has the best characters. Who were some of the nicest people you met in the FGC? Well, like I said, I mean, I defended Thomas when people really hated Thomas, and Thomas was not that bad of a guy. Thomas helped out a lot of people, and then, like I said, people were talking shit about him and trying to say that he did stuff, and then it ended up being it's actually the Team Serious guys that were the people stealing from everybody. So. APOC was nice to me when I was in the scene. Like I said, APOC was one of the only guys that messaged me when I was in the hospital dying. Of course, APOC is kind of out there himself, but, APOC was like, man, you just need to eat the sun, dude. There's this, he was telling me, he's like, yo, there's this documentary where people are sick, but they ate the sun. And I was like, oh, bro. And I'm like, I appreciate the thought at least, but, I was like, APOC, my situation right now is a little bit more dire than just needing vitamin D. I'm like, dude, I'm dying. I'm like, it's a little bit more than a vitamin D problem right now. But, bless his heart, he was one of the few people that even bothered to message me, so that was nice. I never had a problem with Mike Watson. Mike Watson was nice to me when I was in the scene. I would say a lot of the people that you thought were nice were not that nice. Again, I've always told the stories about Kenji. Kenji's a good player. He's a good looking guy. He's very friendly, but Kenji was a very, very two-faced person. And, that was honestly, I feel like there's a lot of people like that. That was kind of my experience in the scene. A lot of people, they seem nice, but the more you get to know them, something is not right here. Opinions on Metal Gear Solid. I like Metal Gear Solid. Sean PG1GX, message retracted. I don't know what you say. K Sniper, you're insane, Clayton. I know you've said that multiple times, but then you run away when you were challenged, or when you challenged me. 1990s or 80s kid? I guess I'm in between. I thought you were 85, Clayton, right? Sounds to me like James is trying to cover his ass for the bag. Still doesn't make sense for him to not give credit, though. Yeah. If Gambit is in Tokon, I'll probably get it. More potential than Toskale for sure, right? I'm born in 92. Clayton, what's your opinion on someone making a blog post called Fighting Games Have a Product Design Problem? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. I agree that there is a design problem at face value. The title, I agree. Clayton, and have you read it because even has some of your points you've talked about regarding Street Fighter 2. So no, I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about. Seems like they're opening up different types of assist. You think they will change it similar to what you suggest? Well, like I said, the first, I know people were saying that they, excuse me. I know they said that they made assist not always home in on you or something like that. Excuse me, but that was like I said, even in the first beta, I showed that. So that was something that was changed in the second beta, because in the first beta you could whiff assist, because I showed videos of it, because I was like, even if you whiff an assist, it resets your tech buffer, because that's why I was like, someone should try tech with this. Like maybe you can get bigger damaging combos by purposely whiffing the assist, because if you actually look at the footage, there was footage of whiffing the assist actually reset the tech buffer, even though the assist didn't hit. Man, Clayton, I remember those hyper Street Fighter Alpha videos you made showcasing the tech that made me get Alpha Anthology at the time. Yeah, so the Hyper Alpha actually has new stuff in it. There could be lots of new stuff in it, but the game didn't keep getting played. So it's, who knows how much new tech is in it, but, the community kind of canceled the game without trying all the new stuff, I guess. Are you a fan of arena fighters like Power Stone or Spawn? Spawn? There's a Spawn fighting game? I had no idea there was a Spawn fighting game. I must be thinking of the wrong thing. I'm thinking of the comic book Spawn. I remember there was a Spawn PS1 game, and I could not beat it. I remember my brother thought that Spawn was cool, so he got Spawn, the video game, for PS1. And I think me and my brother could only get past a few stages. I don't even know how long the game is, but I remember we played that game and we're like, whoa, this game is bad. I think we could only beat a few stages in the game. It was so bad. It was, God, does anyone know what I'm talking about? Jeez, it was a really, really bad game. Maybe we sucked at it. Maybe the game was legitimately hard. I don't know. God, someone would have to. Does anyone know? Does anyone know the Spawn game I'm talking about? But no, Power Stone I don't care about. But if just arena fighters, does like Virtual On count? I think Virtual On is cool. LMAO. Oh man, I love Spawn and the Demon's Hand. A bit kooky, but kooky, but seems like APOC cares. Yeah, APOC is kind of out there. But APOC is APOC has an interesting story. Um, I know APOC was a very friendly person with me when I first got into the scene too. Like APOC was a I don't know how much of his childhood. Yeah, we talked about some of our childhood together. Even when I guess I wasn't a child, but I was still very young. And APOC, he had had a pretty troublesome childhood. I wouldn't mind talking about it myself, but it's his story. But so I won't tell his story. But he had some pretty horrific situations happen to him as a child, from what he told me when we first started getting to know each other. And I, it's a very interesting story, actually, what happened to him, I think. And I don't know if it's public knowledge about the things that happened to him when he was a kid, but you would be surprised. Not everyone has a great life growing up, and some of the things that happened to him as well when he was young were not good things. But he's always been whenever I talk to him, he was a friendly guy to me, and I don't really have anything bad to say about him that I know of. But yeah, no, he's a little kooky though. Yeah, he's got a bit of that hippie energy kind of thing. I think what did I think Mike I think maybe Watson was telling me some story about him that one day he was talking about how he can walk through walls when he did drugs or something like that. And I was like, oh, I haven't heard that story, but I don't know. But I don't know. Have you ever heard of Razor Fist? I don't know. Is that a player or something? Power Stone was great, but the sequel is forgettable. Were there ever any players who impressed you? Great execution, good tech. Well, I mean, like I said, when I first met Thomas was one of the guys very early on in Guilty Gear. And like I said, this is like a Guilty Gear history lesson, right? Like, although Kenji, you think of Kenji as being the best Angie, the most famous Angie in history of Guilty Gear, I think. And then maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, I think there's a guy named Zidane. Then Zidane started becoming known for Angie in America. But before Kenji, Thomas was actually considered the best in America for Angie. And when I first saw Thomas play, Thomas was the first person that when I saw him play, he was all about doing weird tricks. And he was doing in the very first Guilty Gear XX, Angie could do FRC butterfly after his super. And if you did super to FRC butterfly, it automatically gave you full gauge or whatever, and you could do an unblockable because if you know Angie's super, it automatically made your guard meter flashing, right? And even if you FD'd it, it would completely delete 100% of your FD. So even at worst, you'd get like half life to like 80% life. And, Thomas was doing stuff like that, weird tricks like that. He was doing weird like FRC shenanigans. Not that Thomas was maybe the most solid player. Like he didn't keep like his level at the game did not continue to go on, so to speak, in terms of tournaments. And maybe that's because Thomas maybe was an older guy. But, when the game first came out, Thomas was the first person that showed me that, whoa, like he's doing a lot of crazy tech and he's having like a lot of success with it. And I think that was pretty inspirational, you could say. And, that's why I called Kenji out, because people made up a lot of lies about Thomas, that Thomas was this bad person. And it was really fucked up because Thomas had given Kenji a place to stay before, and just like everyone else, and he had held tournaments. And, but Thomas, people started lying about Thomas and Kenji, because Kenji was considered very popular at the time and probably still is. Kenji, who will suck a dick for anybody, Kenji would not defend Thomas. And I think that was probably my first inkling that, maybe everything that Kenji did was not on the up and up, because to see Kenji would dick suck anybody, but then he wouldn't defend somebody that actually helped him. And again, that's one of the original reasons that I got hate in the community, because I called Kenji out for not defending Thomas. And then people were like, oh my God, Clayton would talk shit about Kenji. Everybody loves Kenji. Clayton must be evil like Thomas, blah, blah, blah. There must be something shady about him. And then, of course, it came out years later that, Kenji, who was part of Team Sirius, they were the people actually going around stealing people's games at tournaments. Of course, the community likes to sweep that under the rug now, just like you see Jacob Pat. Jacob is still going to tournaments. Now, if you actually look at my videos, me and Jacob used to go to tournaments at the same time. Guess who was winning? Just like Elvin Shadow was going to these tournaments, just like Kenji. A lot of these top players are still top players now. Guess who was winning the tournaments back when we were all playing? It was me, right? But anyway, like I said, Jacob was one of the main people that was stealing from people at tournaments. And I know it even came out later that, Thomas had found out that, Jacob was stealing from him. And he had thought about calling the police and prosecuting him or whatever. But he found out that Jacob was poor. And so he decided not to. And so I guess that kind of saved him, right? Because he was thinking about, I guess he could have done legal actions against these guys, but, he found out that they were poor. And so he decided not to. But where are we? $10. Oh, hey, we finally got a donation. Lactovaxielo939. Hey, Clayton, did you see the new Avatar game? I think Mike Z from Skullgirls is working out. Looks pretty good. Greetings from Brazil. God bless. Thank you for the donation. If anyone else ever I don't know what R10 is. That's that Brazilian dollars. That might be worth like one big butt. That might be verse one big Latina butt. I will respond even though it's only one Latina butt. I love me some. Right. Actually, guys, wait. Brazil speaks Portuguese. I don't know any Portuguese. I only know some Spanish. Well, anyway, I did see it. And like I said, I don't have I saw some of it. I don't have anything deep to say about it. The only thing petty I have to say maybe about it is, again, I've said the stories about Mike Z. Mike Z, when he was making Skullgirls, he said I could have helped him make it, help him test the game, and I declined. It didn't interest me. But me and him have randomly talked throughout the years. And, he's always been one of the guys because I know he knows a lot about Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And so whenever I did anything in the game, I'd be like, hey, I don't want to put out anything old. So before I put out something, let me make sure it's new. I'll ask you. And, so he would say, oh, yeah, that's new, blah, blah, blah. And then even when he was going through his canceled phase, I had him here on a live stream before. And, he even said, he's like, Clayton, you're the only person that even asked if I was okay this entire time. And I was like, that's fucked up because we're not even really friends. So that just goes to show you how fucked up the video game community is. But, like I said, I lost all kind of respect for Mike Z when all the recent Marvel vs. Capcom 2 stuff came out. I did those Hayato instant kills anywhere. And he's like, wow, this is new. He couldn't believe it was real. Just like I messaged Clockwork, just like I messaged Video. I messaged everyone that I still sort of talk to from Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and people couldn't even believe it was real. And then, when Rom Nito started talking shit, making up all these lies, and Mike Z wouldn't say a goddamn thing. And I was just like, wow, dude. And I'm like, you told me I'm the only person that even asked you all these years if you're doing okay, and you couldn't take 5 seconds to defend me. And I was just like, when I saw that, I was just kind of like, man. So I almost feel petty enough that I might not ever even check out the game, because part of me is like, I don't want to support this guy that I've supported before when people talk shit about him, So I'm kind of like, man, I don't know. It's just ridiculous. Clayton, mechanics-wise, what Marvel game did you say is the best? Oh, I would say 3 or Ultimate, right? Probably. Marvel's Capcom Infinite has a lot of kind of. I don't care about the gem system. Marvel's Capcom Infinite, just kind of. So I guess 3 and Ultimate. Have you watched the 2XKO Donkey video? No. Are you the guy that mentioned this last live stream? That name is familiar now. No, I have not watched it. No. Oh yeah, fighting games product design. Would link if I could. Yeah, no, maybe send it to me on Twitter or something. I mean, I don't know. The problem with current fighting games is it's made for people who don't like or play fighting games and would rather get instant gratification. I wouldn't necessarily agree that fighting games aren't made for fighting game players. I would say they are made for a specific fighting game player. I don't agree with they are not made for fighting game players. I don't agree with that. I think they are made for a specific demographic of fighting game players. I would be more specific. That is how I would say that. How do you feel about people who are one and done? In terms of what? Fighting games or 90s child comes to age early in 2000s. For those who come after. Hey Clayton, hope you're doing well, Brody. How are you? Demon Fist 99, I have no good news with my health. Just depends on how bad it is. Yeah, there was a Spawn Arena Fighter. Yeah, no, I don't know anything about a Spawn Arena Fighter. I just know about the PS Spawn game, and it was shit. Oh, Spawn the Eternal for PS1 is the worst PS1 I played. The game really sucked. Also, Spawn is my favorite character. Spawn had really good graphics in N64. That said, I never played it. Only known Spawn sidecar SNES game. First time I played Spawn the Eternal was 2014. The game sucks. The only good thing about the game was the music. Excuse me. In the Demon's Hand was arguably the only good Spawn game ever made. Capcom made it. Excuse me. So it plays a lot like Power Stone, but with bigger stages. Easily one of the top 10 games of all time. I only know about this Tom Ass person through your videos. Wonder what happened to Tom Ass. I have no idea what happened to Tom Ass other than that he commented on one of my videos and just said that, I don't know, he commented on a video before just basically saying he was alive, I guess. But haven't talked to him since then. How would you feel about Final Fantasy VIII Remake? I liked Final Fantasy VIII, but I wouldn't mind a remake. Would I ever get around to playing it? I don't know. But I like Final Fantasy VIII. I think they would turn down the junction system. No, I'm still waiting for Final Fantasy 9s. Only play for an hour. LMOW donation, mate. Hey, well, if anyone else ever wants to donate, probably going to bust out of here pretty soon. We've been on here for about an hour and a half. If you like the videos, like, sub, silly, comment, share, support the channel if you can. Appreciate it. Thanks, Super Chat, PayPal, Patreon. I'll finish up some questions if you want. Again, if anyone ever wants to donate to the channel, I'll keep it on for a few more minutes, and then I'm probably going to bust out of here. You can still find Mike Z and Guilty Gear every so often on Guilty Gear Net Play. So 9 is your favorite. Me? Not me. Geez, I used to like Romita. I didn't know he was also a jerk. This is news to me. Oh yeah, Romito is a complete piece of shit. I mean, I offered that guy $100 to prove one thing. I was just like, bro, you're an idiot. I mean, the guy forgot to delete his old comments on my videos. He's an idiot. Jesus Christ. He's an extremely insecure person. He didn't even know that off the ground. Like he tried to like say that he and his friends were going to do more than me, and he posted a combo that is rollable. Like he didn't know that you could roll combos. Like it was unfathomable how stupid he was, or is, I guess you could say. Which arcade scene did you go when you were active in the scene? Well, like I said before, I could only ever play video games randomly. I couldn't even drive until after reload. I only randomly got to go to the arcade if my grandma would take me to the arcade, generally speaking. That's why I said I had no idea I was even good at video games. And then I just randomly entered a tournament and I beat everybody besides the guy that was considered second best in the Midwest of America at the time and best in Michigan. And people were like, "Whoa, you're good. You should play." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm good." And like, I didn't know I was good at games. Like I said, I've never been a person that played a lot of fighting games. I had to. I said my grandma would have had to take me to the arcade. I couldn't even drive until after Reload came out. Mike Z worked on Skullgirls. He needs to let the game go after the game was censored. Yeah, no, I don't think Mike Z has anything to do with Skullgirls. He's even told me before, after all that happened, that he didn't want to be a part of it. So, hmm. Yeah, I bought Skullgirls not knowing Sonic Fox was in it, and by the time I discovered it, it was too late. Silly comment. Any good flow stories other than beating him in tournaments? I never had any positive interactions with Flo myself. Um, my only interactions with Flo is when there was the CVS2 tournament. He was considered the best in the Midwest at the time. I beat him, and I didn't know it was Flo. I mean, I don't know. I was a fucking kid. You can see I had my Kroger outfit on. I had to be driven to the tournament after work. Again, people want to like come up with this weird stuff that I've always been someone that practiced games. I was like, dude, I had to work to survive. So Flo, I beat Flo in CVS2, and that was when he was considered the best in the Midwest. And that was a tournament I didn't even get to finish. I was already guaranteed third at that tournament then after that, but I had to leave because it was just late and my mom had to drive me home. But no, I remember after that, and they're like, dude, you just beat Flo. What the fuck? No one's ever beaten Flo yet before. And I was like, really? Can I get a picture with you? And he probably was not happy about that. Right. And then other than that, we played in Guilty Gear. I beat him in Guilty Gear tournaments. And then the only other experiences I have with Flo is the Soul Calibur stories, where it was when Chicago was considered the best in the world at Soul Calibur. It was after Super Battle Opera. And I told the story. We went to Chicago, and Drac was there, who also used to live with me. Again, people say Clayton hates gay people, transgender people. Drac used to download transgender porn on my computer. If I hated gay people, if I hated transgender people, why did Drac used to live with me? Give me a break. But anyway, but Drac was always a very interesting person. Like Drac, I have seen Drac win so many Soul Calibur tournaments. And again, Drac lived with me. I don't remember a single time ever seeing Drac ever practice Soul Calibur. If he did, it happened when I wasn't around. I don't know, but so we went to Chicago, and we were staying with Fetz, who was also very famous at the time, because I think the best in the world were H-Bomb, Fetz, and Flo in Soul Calibur 2 at the time. And we went to the Chicago tournament, and man, the Chicago guys were just very, you know what? It's one of those things for Fetz to let us stay with them. Yet they were so unfriendly with us. Like, it's one of those weird things. It's like, hey, you can stay with us for the tournament, because we're in Chicago. So we stayed at their house for the night, because it's a couple days, but they were just very cold, not very friendly. Like, even when, say if you've ever seen me do that anime Illuminati interview, right? Like, if I'm trying to be, I try to have like a good time. Like, you would try to joke with them, and they just didn't want to joke. And like, hey, let's all take a picture. They were too good to take a picture with anybody. They were just very kind of unfriendly. And we were driving to the tournament, and so we had to follow them, and they just like sped away. So we didn't know how to get to the tournament. Like, dude, we're following you to the arcade, and they just sped away. They didn't wait for us. And again, I told the story, and it's funny because Drac was like, I tell you what, Drac had the main character energy, as the kids would say nowadays. Like, Drac was like, he's like, Clayton, don't worry about these guys. These guys are scared of me, right? He's like, these guys are scared of me. And he's like, they're just doing this because they're trying to get me off my game or something like that. And I'll tell you what, dude, like Drac, and and I say this as me and Drac are not good friends, right? And the reason that me and Drac, I don't think are good friends, is because me and Drac are both very eccentric, let's say. Me and Drac are both very sort of like free bird. We don't like follow the norm. We both do our own thing, so to speak, right? And so because of that, I think maybe we thought that we could live with each other because we're both so our own kind of person. But because of that, we didn't like really click when we lived with each other. And also, well, Drac is gay and he really wanted to be close to me because he wanted to have sex with my friend, which is another thing. And then they didn't ended up working out. So that probably doesn't help. But, but so Drac, we went to this tournament and I said before, Drac, I don't remember who he lost to because, again, the best in the world was considered either Fets, Flo, or H Bomb. They're all at the tournament, but Drac got second. So he beat two of them and then he lost to one of them. And I remember Chicago was pissed. They're like, this doesn't count. Like they literally, after the tournament entered, they're like, let's redo the tournament. Redo the tournament right now. They're like, we're gonna beat you this time. And Drac was like, nope. And they literally thought Drac was gonna enter again. They literally redid the tournament, and Drac was like, you had your chance. I'm not playing you again. And so it's funny. So you could think in it, it's a very small blip in the history of fighting games. You could say that Drac, when Chicago was considered the best in the world, when they just went to Super Battle Opera in Japan, that they were supposedly unbeatable. Drac went to Chicago and got second. And again, I don't remember which two he beat. He lost to one of them, but Drac was like, I'm not playing you again. And Chicago was pissed about that. And they were just they're quite unfriendly. But I'm gonna fill up my water. We'll do some last questions. I'm gonna bust out of here. Again, if you want to leave a donation for me, now is your time. Now's your time. I'm gonna go get some water. We'll do some last questions. No, I'll bust out. Okie dokie. Let's do finish up some final questions. I'm gonna bust out of here. Where are we? Yeah, the only other flow story was that there was the Ricky story that with Ricky where excuse me, Ricky and Flo were going around to people's rooms to play Guilty Gear, but then they were supposedly too good to play Kenji and like they couldn't be bothered to play Kenji and Guilty Gear because they were too good for him apparently. And at the tournament, then Kenji beat Ricky, and so I didn't see the match because I was playing my match, and then people came up to me and they're like, "Oh man, Clayton, did you see, did you see Kenji? He fucked Ricky, man. He fucked him, man." And Ricky, well, Ricky's a girl now, but Ricky was like, the femboy, I guess, back then. And I had so many gay friends that people used to think that I was gay on the down low. So I just made the joke, "Oh yeah, well, who wouldn't fuck Ricky? I would fuck Ricky too." Just like joking around. But then I turned around and like, Ricky was right there, and Ricky gave me like a snaggle tooth, and Ricky's like, "Wee." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And Serlin was there too. And Serlin looks at me and his like jaw drops, and Ricky's like giving me the snaggle tooth. And I'm like, "Oh, Ricky, I'm sorry. It's people joke that they think I'm gay, and it's because you're gay. And so they said they fucked you. So I was saying that I would fuck you because I was trying to be funny." And it just keeps making a bad situation worse. And like Ricky keeps getting the snaggletooth more and more. And Serlin just starts busting out laughing. And they're like, "Just stop, just stop." And I'm like, "Hey, I'm sorry. I apologize." And the thing is, I apologize. I'm like, "I'm sorry. People say that I'm gay, so I made a joke. I apologize." And I was just upfront with it right there. And Ricky did not accept. And then the tournament after that, as the history of Clayton Chapman goes, then me and Ricky end up playing in a tournament, and I'm being recorded for Evo, the same Evo that you see all my hair coming out after radiation. You got to remember, I'm winning like almost every tournament at that time, right? And so they're filming me for it, and me and Ricky play, and that's a tournament where I think I got like a double perfect on Ricky, one of the matches, right? And I had said before at that time, the lure of it is I was playing so little and I was so sick. I'm like, "Oh God, what am I going to even do to win?" And so I was doing Shinakuma. So I'm like, "You know what? I'll just do Shinakuma," because Evo that year was XX. Even though everyone else was playing Reload, they made that tournament XX. And I'm like, "Oh God, what am I going to do?" And I'm like, "Well, you know what? I bet Ricky hasn't seen Shinakuma." So what I did is I just Shinakuma'd right in Ricky's face, basically with Kai. And if you don't know what Shinakuma is you take away the recovery of Kai's fireball. And remember, no one had done this at this time. This was like completely new tech, right? And so I would just look like a complete scrub. I would do a fireball right next to Ricky. And then right when Ricky would try to punish me, I would just jump over and hit them. And I ended up like perfecting them. And I got an instant kill. And they were not happy about it. And I gave them my hand and I said sorry. And they kind of like slapped my hand away. And yeah, that's that story. Oh God, Lactovilla, you for real? My God, I hope he's okay. Hayato and Captain Commando are so fun to play. Thoughts on Gutex and Mike Ross? Um, so I've never met them in real life. They're after my time. I think Gutex posted on one of my videos and he gave a donation, which was nice. But I myself have never really interacted with him per se. Um, I thought that he had some bad interview where he said he thinks the world is flat. I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, that probably, that probably is not, that probably is, doesn't make him look very good. I don't know what he's talking about there, but in general, I never met him. I haven't really had an interaction with him besides he commented on a video of mine and donated, which was kind of him. But I hear he is quite unpopular. I think people say he's a conspiracy theorist or something, but I mean, really know. I'm not versed on his lore, so to speak. And Mike Ross, me and Mike Ross, to my knowledge, have never talked. I don't have anything bad to say about him or anything, unless we have and I'm just not aware. Do you think that there are any fighting games in the FGC that is free from any sort of controversy by its fan base? No, not to my knowledge. No. The link to the blog post is under one of your recent tweets. Let's go check. Oh, is this it? Tailspin. Hey, Clayton, I was wondering if you would do a video on how you felt about the issues of fighting game products. Wait, is this a safe link? This is cthor.me. Is that a safe link to click? That link looks scary to me. Is that the link you're talking about? That link, I feel scared to click that link. Is that a real link? For fighting games. I only played Soul Calibur 2 for Spawn, but I played on our platform too. Clayton, what state do you live in? I'm in Michigan. What do you think of Dead or Alive? Yeah, Dead or Alive is fine. What do you think about Ultra Street Fighter 4 as a game? It's whatever. It's fine, I guess. He lives in pain. Yeah, that's true. I do. Fighting games remind me of high school. As a matter of fact, nearly every millennial space is just high school, even corporate. It's all good. The Midwest still has tournaments and communities. Hi, ready for story time, lore hour. The Ricky Snaggletooth. Yeah, I'm talking about Ricky Ortiz, yeah. I don't think it's possible. Every fighting game title is composed of what I'd like to call a pipeline of 4chan progenitor types. Ironically, it's the toxicities that keeps these games unequivocally based. How did you get the name Final Showdown? Because of Kyo Super is called the Final Showdown. The Mushiki Saishu Kasen. What is the 4chan progenitor type? Is most of the FGC LGBT? They might be. I mean, they could be. I don't know. OG4chan's needed since before it was infiltrated by normies. Clayton, what's your favorite Tale game? I don't play Tales, actually. The world is flat. Yeah, I don't know. I heard that Gutex thinks the world is flat. I don't know. I guess that's I don't know I don't know why he would say that. I don't know. Again, I've heard that there's a lot of drama involving him, but I'm not really versed on his lore. Again, friends don't let friends use macros. Hey, I feel you. Thank you for the donation, Deadly Brave Neo. Run it through Virtual Stool if you're not certain. Clayton, recommend me a visual novel that I can't play in front of my mom. Just play True Love 95. True Love 95 is a fun game. You can play True Love 95 in a web browser. Let me go find it. I always think I haven't played True Love 95 in a while, but I probably should. Maybe I wonder if I can put a link in my own thing. Oh yeah, this is it. Yeah. Yeah, Mom. Oh, Bob, you're a pervert, Bob. Play the game. Let's see if I can find this. Oh, sweet. Oh man, you're gonna make me want to play it. I don't know if I can post a link in my own thing. Let's see if the link posts. Oh, I can post my own link. There you go. Now the game is ugly. It's not a game you're going to jack off to, you pervert. It's not a game you're going to jack off to. But, wow. Oh, there we go. Is it working? Wow. Oh, what a great game. June I Monogatari. True Love! マウスクリックしてください。最初からね。あなたの名前を聞いてください。What should we say our name is? Bob. My name is Bob! Oh, Bob, you dirty Mexican Bob! 主人公のタイプを選択してください。Am I normal? Am I a smarty pants? Am I oh, sportsman? Am I a sporty? Am I a playboy? Say no playboy. Shimijimi Toshita. Oh boy. You guys are gonna make me want to play this game. You can only hear. Yeah. Maybe I'll play it later. Well, I'll give you guys the link if you want to check it out. Yeah, not a game you would jack off to, but True Love 95 is very fun. You can play True Love in just a few hours. You know, it's not a long game. It's fun though. Good, not a game to jack off to, but a very fun game. True Love 95. Where are we? Gutex ain't what he used to be. Did you ever play any fighting games on the N64? The only fighting game that I played on N64 was Mortal Kombat Trilogy. I remember trying that. How do you feel about the evolution from 6 to 8 buttons on arcade sticks? Well, I think it's ridiculous. I didn't even know what Macron was until I came across your channel. We should spar someday. I have no idea the next time I'll ever play games. I have no idea. How much money did you make back in the day from being a pro in Guilty Gear? It depends on how much money that was at the tournament, I guess. How many people entered? You know, few $100 maybe, something like that. But maybe it's a smaller tournament, might win like 100. Not very much. Just depends on how many people enter, just like nowadays, right? So, say that one of those last tournaments that I went to, I could have, say it was the tournament, Marnito, Combo Fiend, all of them were there. I remember I made enough to pay for my plane ticket, which is funny because they actually offered to pay for my plane ticket to go to because, I guess that would be a top player privilege, I guess. They offered to pay for my plane ticket to go to the tournament, but I said no, and I paid for it. So I won that tournament. I paid for my plane ticket, a few $100, right? So, but you don't understand these character voices sometimes. What, the Pikachu voice? True Love 95 is actually on Steam, is it? Really? True Love 95 is on Steam? Are you serious? Are you lying? Should I look? It's on Steam, really? Class of 09 if you're a Y2K enjoyer. My friend told me Flo passed away at the time. I said now Gutex and Mike Ross finally has room on their couch. It was messed up, but I had to make a joke about it. Yeah, Flo, he did. Yep. I mean, I don't have much to say about it. I mean, I wasn't friends with him, but I'm sure it's not good for people that were friends with him, but me and him weren't friends, so I don't have anything deep to say about it. Actually, if you're not sure about that link, you can just say it through Google search and you'll be sure. Click it. I didn't think you'd pull through. Are you going to donate to the channel? 000I Kaiya. Are you going to donate to the channel? You got about 5 more minutes or so. Why not stream it while you're at it? Curious, did you ever learn Japanese enough to live in Japan long term? Or Soa Chip? No, I can't stay in Japan long term because of my health. I've tried to get a visa. My health is too serious. They won't give me a visa. In an alternate reality where I was not in the hospital all the time dealing with life or death stuff, maybe I would be in Japan, but it's impossible with my health situation, unfortunately. You, Mortal Kombat. Oh, True Love Knife is on PC 90. The chat will not be told not to Jack. Yeah, Mac was in it. I recently revisited Mortal Kombat Trilogy N64 version on Gopher 64 NetPlay. I had a ton of fun playing that version. Also surprised how good Gopher 64 NetPlay is with a more modern delay-based netcode. Played with a good Canadian friend, and a friend of course said it felt really good. Went on a date for Valentine's, and the restaurant was closed. They stripped shut down. Why did they do that? What do you think of the Western-made fighting games like Mortal Kombat and Killer Instinct compared to Japanese ones? I don't think they can compare. Will you be playing Resident Evil 9? Scary games scare me, so I don't play. Scary games scare me, so I don't play scary games. I haven't played. I'll watch people play scary games just to see what's going on, but I don't play them. I haven't played. I haven't played any since Code Veronica, the Dreamcast. And I remember doing the Wesker thing, or Wesker. There's like a mini game where you play as Wesker and you can only use the knife, right? But then you get the Magnum for the final fight. Is that what it is, right? God, it's been a long time since I played that game. I remember playing Veronica though, but after that, I've only watched people play. I looked it up. Published by Faku. Oh yeah, okay, I know what that is. 90s VNs, 2XKO. Come on, Clayton, you're way too weeb to not say my name right. I don't know. What is it? IKEA. IKEA, right? IKEA? What? I don't know. You ever play on Fightcade? I haven't played on Fightcade in a while. Like I said, I don't know how many times to tell you dudes. I mean, go watch the videos, dude. I don't know what that like people just don't want to believe that my controllers are broken, that my health is the way it is. I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys, dude. I don't know the next time I'll play. I haven't played Guilty Gear in years. I've played Street Fighter Alpha like what once in a few years. I feel like it's been years since I played Karna's Revenge. I don't know the next time I'm gonna sit down and play. I don't know. It's very painful to play video games. I don't know. Like I said, I've been dealing with this stuff for years, dude. Hey, Clayton, can you talk about the games you people in the community actually played? What? Can you talk about the games you people in the community actually played? Huh? What do you mean? In the community, like in the fighting game community? When I was a kid, there's tons of fighting games. I remember people used to play World Heroes, all sorts of different shit. Oh yeah, no, I mean, go watch the videos. My health is not good. What type of crawl? What type of controller do you even play on? So Street Fighter games I'll play on a Sega Saturn pad, and then other games I'll play on a PS pad. I used to play on arcade stick, but after surgery and worsening nerve damage, I just stopped. Oh, geez, stem cells. Geez, I don't know. I guess, like, who knows? Stem cells. I remember Toshiden, yeah. I had a crush on the character Cupid. Cupido. Was there a video where you talk about not giving extra stun on counter hits from an air hit if you were making your own game? Yeah, I've talked about that before. That I think there's an interesting thing about Street Fighter 2 is the whole idea of like, yeah, there's. I wonder if I could find the video. Oh man, I'm getting tired. Let me see. Let me see if I can find the video. Counter. Okay, I think I know. Maybe this is the video. Okay, let's see if this is the video. I think I show example it.
Soon we'll be telling the whole stadium how Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance to save.
Oh, I got a few videos on this, I think, actually. Oh, Sister Luna, she is looking so much cute in her shirt. Good job. Do you see? Trying to go through the video, make sure. I think I talk about stuff like that in this video. When you don't have extra stun on air hits, there's actual on air attacks to hitting grounded opponents. You get like interesting things when you combine it with one throw. And I think it's a perspective and meta that isn't really possible. Like if I was making a Street Fighter game, I think that I like counter hits on the ground attack versus ground attack, having new links when you hit with a counter hit, etc. But I think if I was making a game, I would lean towards air attacks, just do more damage, maybe not more stun, because I would still have one button throws, and then you could keep this meta that is only in old school games. Fighter's Destiny, yes, I've heard of. What made fighting games so interesting to you in comparison to other games? I don't know. I guess I don't know, just a kid that likes fighting, I guess. Like, I don't know, I just thought fighting stuff was cool. I don't think I have anything super deep. I don't know if there's anything real deep to compare it to, I guess. I liked Ninja Turtles, all right, when I was younger, all right? Ninjas, fighting, doing cool shit. Oh, fighting game, I guess. I don't think I have anything too deep to say about that. I used to play Winback on N64. It was so much better. Other test tube of that game. Does Jeremy Fragrance have Botox injections? He looks like he's melting. Oh, I have no idea. I haven't seen a Jeremy Fragrance video in a while. I don't know. I have no idea. I have not seen a Jeremy Fragrance video in quite a while, so I don't even know. I know, God, he's any video that I have seen of him, I know he looks pretty darn rough, that's for sure, right? Was there supposed to be visuals on the stream? I'm just talking. Oh, well, we've been on for about, 2 hours, 15 minutes, dude. Well, go check out the video I sent if you're learning about the counter hits in the air, that kind of thing. All right. If anyone else wants to donate to the channel, I'll wait about a few more, like one more minute, I guess. Otherwise, if you like the videos, like, sub, silly comment, share, support the channel. if you want. I appreciate it. Thanks. Super chat, PayPal, Patreon, super comment the video, super hype the video, yada, 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 etc., etc. Do I keep in touch with Mike Hollow? We have not really. I think we've exchanged a couple of words, but no, I haven't had any like real conversation with him really since then. No. Alrighty. Thanks for tuning in, dudes. The end.